Every day, they had to hide in this concealed basement before dark, then use dozens of chains thicker than a fist to lock the steel door at the entrance. Only then could they barely block the monsters on the ground. But knowing it was so dangerous outside, they had no choice but to go out every day to find food. Before going out, they first had to use this homemade periscope to repeatedly observe the outside, and only after confirming it was safe would they dare to open the steel door. It was precisely this extreme carefulness in everything that allowed this family of 3 to safely spend 300 days in the basement. But on day 301, an accident happened. That day, the parents went out to forage as usual. The daughter, alone at home, was very bored, so she took the periscope, preparing to look at the outside world. Unexpectedly, a black shadow suddenly flashed through the forest. Lisa was terrified. She immediately shouted loudly for her parents outside, but the distance was too far. They couldn't hear at all. Seeing the black shadow getting closer and closer to her parents, Lisa immediately made a bold decision. She quickly came to the exit, trying to open this heavy steel door, but she was after all a little girl. Her strength was too small. After trying more than 10 times, she finally used her body to push open the steel door. After coming out, Lisa looked around, but didn't see any trace of her parents, so she began shouting loudly again. The mother heard the sound and quickly came out to cover her mouth, afraid this sound would attract monsters. Fortunately, both parents were still alive, but before Lisa could tell them what just happened, several deer suddenly rushed over like crazy. From their panicked appearance, it was clear they were fleeing from something terrifying. The group instantly became nervous. They didn't even take the food they'd just found, and directly returned quickly to the basement. But because Lisa's shouting earlier was too loud, the monsters still found their dwelling. From the dust falling from the ceiling, there should be only one monster outside, but they were equally too scared to make a sound. Because they had previously done good concealment on the ground, the father felt that as long as they didn't make any movement, even if the monster stood right at the exit, it couldn't find that steel door. But right at this time, Lisa accidentally hooked the toy's wind-up key on a screw on the water pipe. The pulling force from the tightened string made the screw fall off, and the toy also made a sound at that instant. Worse yet, the switch also malfunctioned at this time. The father anxiously grabbed the toy directly, then took out the speaker inside and crushed it with one step. But this process took too much time. The sound had long been heard by the monster outside. Immediately after, the steel door began shaking violently. Now they could only place their hope on those dozens of chains. But the monster's strength was really too great. The steel door being opened was just a matter of time. Watching chain after chain being torn off, the mother could only take the risk of climbing up the iron ladder, then pulling hard on the steel door handle, delaying the time of the monster's invasion. The father wasn't idle at this time either. He went to the bathroom and broke off a water pipe, preparing to use it to reinforce the steel door. But the mother's physical strength had already reached its limit. When the father came to the entrance with the water pipe, the monster had pulled off all the chains and lifted up the steel door. Then what reached in was a pair of green eyes. The daughter was scared to tears on the spot. Seeing this, the father immediately swung the water pipe and temporarily drove the monster out. Then he closed the steel door again and firmly stuck the water pipe on the door handle. Unexpectedly, this thing was actually more effective than those dozens of chains. No matter how hard the monster tried, it couldn't open the steel door again. But the danger still existed, because the monster didn't leave, but kept guarding the exit. Worse yet, the monster even summoned a large number of companions. That violent sound of footsteps made everything in the entire basement start shaking. When they came to the exit again, they saw that the reinforced steel door had been easily opened by them. In an instant, countless pairs of green eyes appeared before them.